Today is moving day, and you can probably hear it in the background. It is absolutely bucketing it down. So right now I'm kind of glad that the removalists are a few hours late, and I'm hoping that this clears up because otherwise everything is going to be saturated. But new house, new beginnings. This house has given me a lot. It allowed me to settle into the bay, have a flat access sort of retirement villa for Mali. It is in a beautiful location and it's a lovely house, but the landlord is... And I am very excited to get out of this house. I feel like it doesn't matter how many times I clean this house, they're gonna find something wrong with it. So I'm glad to be done with this house. There's a lot of anxiety attached to using this house and being watched in this house because the landlord's best friend lives next door, and yeah, it's a lot. So you feel like you can't touch the floors, you can't touch the carpets. If you drop something, you're gonna be hung, drawn and quartered for it. Or if you clean the house so it's spotless and then as you close the door, a fly comes in and dies on the windowsill while you're not here, that you're going to be, you know, held accountable to the renters tribunal. So I'm really happy to be out of this place. I don't really know a lot about the next place. I only went there once. They said I could have a dog and I was like, cool, done, sign me up. There are so few places available where you can get a dog, like so few, not even 1%. So I am a bit excited about this, and that's the other big change that's happening tomorrow. I'm off to pick up my new little boy. So good times ahead. So I thought I would take you along for the ride of all the new and all the change and see if I can maintain some sort of writing schedule while doing all of this. And obviously this is also the reason why I haven't been as active on YouTube or Instagram lately, because I've been busy. I've also been very distracted by the tennis, and let's just call it the Novak drama, because as an Australian, we like our border security. We think it's really important, and it's long been established. Like, this is just the way it is and always has been. What we don't like is the way we're treating immigration refugees who are stuck in the same hotel as Novak. Needless to say, drama has ensued, and people have really strong feelings about an unvaccinated tennis player sliding through the front door. And I think that's kind of why you've seen his entry into Australia become political, because like, we've been through hell. Particularly the people in Victoria, they've had the longest lockdown in the world, and they literally have emotional scars. And we've all been told we can't do anything unless we're double vaxxed. To go into the shops, we've had to prove that we're double vaxxed. We've only just recently been allowed to travel to other states because they've opened up more, which means that we no longer have to prove our vaccination to go into the shops. But that's only happened like in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it just feels like too soon to let someone in who's not vaxxed and doesn't have the appropriate paperwork. What I think is more important is to kind of draw attention to the fact that yes, Novak might be staying in a non-5-star hotel and he might be stuck in hotel quarantine, but there are refugees in that exact same hotel that have been stuck there for ages, and we are talking years. They have been trapped and held in this hotel without fresh air, without access to outside areas, because they're simply seeking asylum in Australia, and that is not okay. So I've been distracted by the tennis drama and the packing, but today is all systems go. We are moving today, even though it's raining. And I've got to cover a couple more things in plastic protection and chuck a few more things in boxes. But all in all, I'm pretty well done, and I've started the cleaning process, but I'm probably going to have to do it 65 more times. But right now, I got to go pick up the keys to the new place.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Then go back in the closet after the storm. No, I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend your friend till the end. I'm not your impression of a city you wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. And I'm not here to criticize the risk. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
I did a little bit of gardening at the new place yesterday, just trying to get the veggie patch going so that I could enjoy what's left of summer with a plentiful yard. And check this out. The removalist ended up being about 7 hours late, which meant that my move was dragged out over 2 days. And I was supposed to pick up this little lad the day after the move. But they messaged me to say that his brother Fudge's adoption had fallen through and they wanted to keep him for an extra couple of days, I guess as a buddy, which kind of worked out well for me given that the move was delayed. So it was a few days later that I drove to Canberra to pick him up, and it was kind of hastened by the fact that we are in a La Nina cycle and it is raining a lot because the road from Jervis Bay to Canberra gets cut off every time there's heavy rain, and I didn't want to either not be able to go and get him or not be able to come back. So his name is Raphael, and that wasn't even a name that was on the list. I ended up debating names for days. I had kind of wanted to call my next dog Noodles, but he just doesn't look like a Noodles. He's wiggly like a noodle, but he doesn't look like a noodle. He came from a litter called the Snacks litter, and they came from a domestic violence situation. And so being part of the Snacks litter meant that they all had snack-related names. So his brother was Fudge. There were also Oreo pudding, Skittles, Fantail, Lolly, and he was Churro. So I decided to stick with the Spanish theme of churro and go with Raphael. Obviously, I am Team Nadal, very heavily so. And I have always loved the name Raphael ever since the 90s Ninja Turtle movie.
Leonardo, Michelangelo,
It's me.
Donatello, and Raphael.
I always thought that Raphael had the best name, even though he perhaps wasn't the best Ninja Turtle. And I wasn't sure that Rapha suited him and that it wasn't completely lame to call him Rapha. But when the tennis is on, he parks himself in front of the TV and stares up at it. So it actually seems like an appropriate name, and more often than not, I'm calling him Riff Raff because he's cheeky. So I feel like we've ended up landing on a name that was not at all expected, but that kind of works for him. It's also a nice name because my 2-year-old nephew can say it, and he's obsessed with dogs but doesn't speak much. So he walks around going, Rafa, Rafa, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Rafa! The first 2 weeks of having Raphael in my life have been mostly about toilet training and the beginnings of us settling into life together, as well as him getting desexed. The toilet training has been a little bit hit and miss. He really likes to pee in front of the signed Rafa Nadal shirt. I don't know if that's a sign that I have named him correctly, but it's one of his favorite spots. He also really likes the guest bedroom, so that's unfortunate, but we are working on it and he is getting better by the day, and we still have a lot of training to do. So we are all moved in and settled in now. There are still a few boxes to deal with and the garage. And honestly, I can't really be bothered. I'm so tired. I'm getting woken up most frequently at dawn or just before. and usually then later we both take a nap together, which is cute but also not that conducive to a productive day. And I'm a little bit sick of cleaning things and putting things away, so I may or may not take a break from it. It just kind of depends how well I can cope with the mess. I used to be like quite happy in the mess, and now I don't like it so much. But I really would like to get back to writing. I want to try and get into a normal rhythm again. I feel like lately I've been so out of rhythm because, I mean, last year was crazy. And once I kind of got over some of the craziness of last year, then it was time to prepare to move. So I just feel like it's been a little bit bonkers, and I just need to settle now and find a rhythm, and I really need to get ready to publish the third book in the Phoenix series. I have been doing a lot of back and forth with my ever-tolerant cover designer, Kerry, trying to get the third cover right. It's quite a difficult thing to do, and I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I also want it to be right. So we're getting that done, and I really need to finish off the last of the formatting for that, and I want to do a reread through of books 1 and 2, and I need to check what's going on with the ebooks because apparently there was some issue with the page numbers, and so hopefully I can edit all of that in the next couple of days and re-upload a better file for the ebook so it's not so problematic. And then hopefully in the next sort of 6 weeks, hopefully by the beginning of March, the third book in the Phoenix series will be ready to go. So it's been quite a process, and this book has taken a lot longer than I anticipated, and that's even like deleting the year that I didn't do anything because I was stressed off my rocker as a small business owner in a pandemic. And as a person who then sold that business and was just like in a ball of stress for a while, like there's just been so many delays, and a lot of them are pandemic related. I couldn't get in contact with my editor for ages, and then the editing process took a while because, homeschool. And then I couldn't get in contact with my cover designer for months and months and months. And so, it just slowed the whole process right down, and I'm hoping that this year I can make more of a concerted effort to actually dedicate myself to trying to make an income from this, from YouTube, from writing, from whatever, and just acknowledging the fact that I know that I don't want to go back to healthcare, and that to do so would feel a bit like a violation when you don't want to go back. So that means that I really need to be more consistent here and put in more effort, and I feel like now that I'm kind of on the other side of the moving and the adopting a puppy and the dealing with the ex-landlord, although that's not entirely done, but I can focus a bit more, and I need to focus a bit more. So I'm hoping that in the next week or two, I can, get those 3 books done and sorted and completed and published and done, and then get on to books 4, 5, and 6 of the Phoenix series, Project Australia and Project Raven. But it sounds like my puppy's just destroyed something outside, so I gotta go. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to like this video. It really helps it grow, and I would really appreciate it.